Hi everybody, it's me, Greg Mannarino, and welcome to this very special Saturday version of my Business Day Market Report. It is also Valentine's Day 2015, so that makes it even extra special. All right, people, with that out of the way, I just had to come out here and do this video because, again, if you've been following my work or you have the ability to understand what's actually going on around you, you see that things are accelerating here. And I have been urging all of you to start paying more attention to what's going on and get involved because the time, people, is now. What I want to do in this particular video segment is discuss how people simply have no concept whatsoever as to the function of money or currency or cash, whatever you want to call it at this particular time. And it has nothing to do with their educational background, whether they're a doctor, a lawyer, or an Indian chief. These are the facts. And this is why everyone is being sheared and fleeced at this particular time. And they don't even know it. It's being done by stealth. And this is where you come in, again, where I've been urging all of you out there who have the ability to understand these concepts to get involved. I want to go over a few things with you. Again, and this leads right up to how people really have no idea in the slightest thing to understand what's happening to them right now. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the current rate of inflation is 0.8%. I'm not going to talk about whether that's a real number or not. We all understand that that number is not real. And the real rate is higher. But let's just say it's 0.8% at this time. Well, the average savings account here in the United States, listen to this, is paying 0.06% interest. Let that sink in for a moment. Bureau of Labor Statistics is saying that there is a 0.8% rate of inflation, and this average savings account is paying 0.06% interest. What does this mean in real terms? It means simply this. If you have your cash in one of these institutions in a savings account, every single day you are becoming poorer. You are losing purchasing power. People have no idea about this, and it's a frightening prospect. Let me put another perspective on this. People are willing to work a lot of hours a week to get a paycheck, but they still don't care to understand this mechanism, what is actually going on and why it's being done. People understand, and I know you get it if you follow this blog. This mechanism is being done on purpose. Let me elaborate on that even further. Okay, so we now understand that if you have your cash in one of these institutions, you're actually losing purchasing power and becoming poorer every single day, according to the government's own numbers. This is reality. So what this is also allowing by the Federal Reserve suppressing these interest rates is it's robbing savers, just like we went over, and it's allowing speculation in this equity market, which continues to move higher. So not only are people being robbed, it's a redistribution of wealth on a grand, almost unimaginable scale. So think about this. It's an incredible concept if you can just put this together in your head. Now, I want to go over a few other things that are going on around the world. And I have been speaking about this, as a matter of fact, Jim Rickards, I believe, started this. He's talking about these currency wars that are going on. Currency wars. Okay. So the central banks of the world are continuing to slash interest rates and go negative. What does this mean, they're going negative? That means that in countries where this is occurring, parts of Europe, Denmark, Switzerland, Sweden, Australia, and there are others, people, in order to keep their cash in these institutions, have to pay the banks. Pay the banks. Okay? Think about that. So they're being robbed by the same mechanism that I just went over earlier. And not only is that happening, but they're being forced to pay the banks. Do not believe for one split second that this is not going to happen right here in the United States, because it most certainly is. And you are going to be forced to pay banks to keep your cash in there. People, it's a concept that is absolutely insane. You have to understand this currency war that we're in is going to force the Federal Reserve to participate. And all the talk about them raising rates is nothing but garbage and rhetoric. Just like their ending of their quantitative easing program, which continues to go on through backdoor mechanisms, which I have enlightened you all about for quite a long time here. So what we can expect in the United States, again, is negative interest rates at one particular time. And anyone out there who is deciding to keep their cash in one of these institutions is not only going to continue to be robbed through the mechanism which I just went over, how they're being paid interest less than the actual rate of inflation, and I mean much less. It's unbelievable, right? And they're going to be forced, you are going to be forced to pay the banks to keep your cash in there. This is a bail-in. You know what a bail-in is? This is where the depositors are forced to support the bank. Well, you're going to be supporting that bank if you decide to keep your cash in there. This is why I've been saying since day one, you need to become your own central bank and get out of their system. And how do you do that, people? Well, I think you know that if you follow this blog. You need to be getting your hands on as much physical gold and physical silver, more specifically silver, that you can get your hands on. What else do we know is going on, people? Again, we heard from Robert Shiller just yesterday. I wrote a blog about it. I did a video blog as well about it. He's warning, this is a Nobel laureate, Robert Shiller, is telling us the bond market is in a lot of trouble and he's expecting a crash. The man did predict the dot-com bubble. He predicted the last credit bubble, housing bubble, and now he's saying this. He's a little bit behind the curve because I've been talking about it for years. Okay, but that's something else too. So what you need to understand, people, is you need to be betting against this debt bubble, which is going to burst. And how do you do that? The same way you become your own central bank, by holding gold, by holding silver. Again, I have no interest at all in any mine, any gold mine, any silver mine, or in any specific company, although I have been asked by some of these companies to represent them. They'd like to have my voice out there because I think I have a pretty good following, but I won't do this. I will not do it. Although I've been offered cash for this as well, but I don't think it's right. I don't think it's right because I don't want anyone out there to say, well, Greg has a vested interest. I do not have a vested interest. I'm just telling you like it is. And according to the government's own numbers, it's backing up everything that I've been saying. And I've also been backed up by a Nobel laureate about this debt bubble, which is the greatest threat to humankind. Speaking of this, people, every day, pretty much, even on weekends, I write articles on my Seeking Alpha blog. If you're a follower of my market report and you're not a follower of that blog, you are missing out on a huge amount of information that you could be capitalizing on and gaining a perspective as to what's going on. So I'm going to urge you right here at the end of this video to simply follow my Seeking Alpha blog. Just sign up for it. It'll take you a split second. You'll get an email alert when I post something new, and you can keep on top of these things. I think it's critical right now, people, and I'm going to urge you to do that. I'm going to place links in the description of this video to several articles, some I wrote today, that you really should take just a minute. They're all very short to read, and you can gain a perspective on what's going on. And while you're reading those articles, when you finish, simply sign up to follow the blog. Just in case you don't know, at this particular time, I am ranked, that blog is ranked number 6 in the world. So if you're not following that, you're missing out on a large amount of vital information. I'm going to urge you once again, follow that blog just like you follow this one. And maybe all of you out there can help me get the number 1 spot. That's what I'd like to see. Honestly, it would make me happy. With that said, if you thought this was informative, please hit this like button down here. Please share this video. The time is now, and I'm calling on all of you to help me out. Let's get this word out there. And let's wake up these sheep. Let's see how this plays out. With that said, I'll see you soon.